Hey everyone, in this video, I will be reviewing the Gamrombo PS5 Wireless LED Controller, or to be more precise, the Gamrombo RH5188 Controller, which is compatible with the PlayStation 5, Windows PCs, and mobile devices. However, I'll mainly be showcasing this controller being used on my Windows laptop, as I am a longtime Xbox user and do not own a PlayStation 5, but I wanted to take this opportunity to showcase a PS5 controller for my PlayStation viewers who may be in the market for a new controller, as I usually show off Xbox layout controllers on my other channel. So first thing first, this controller does have a price tag of $47.99 USD, but it's currently on sale on Amazon for $39.99 USD. So right off the bat, this controller is definitely a much more affordable controller when compared to the standard PS5 controller, which will cost you $74 USD. Now obviously, for such a difference in price, what are the key differences between the two controllers? Well, if you get the Gamrombo controller, you'll be giving up the adaptive triggers, haptic vibration, the built-in microphone, the ability to connect the controller to Mac devices, and being able to use a charging stand. However, you will be getting programmable back buttons that can also perform macro functions, a turbo function, aka an auto clicker, customizable LED lighting, a longer battery life, and the ability to manually recalibrate the controller's thumbsticks and triggers. Depending on how you see it, I see fair trade-offs, considering you are getting this controller for a much more affordable price. And if I was in the market for buying a new controller, I would definitely be buying the Gamrombo PS5 controller over the standard PS5 controller, due to the fact that I am rough with controllers and much rather pay around $40 USD for a replacement than $74 USD, as both controllers lack Hall effect thumbsticks, so you can expect stick drift to develop later down the line after heavy usage. But in the box, you will receive the controller, which is nicely protected with bubble wrap and foam with a cutout to protect the buttons and thumbsticks during shipping, along with a USB-C charging cable and an instruction manual. And after using this controller for a week, I can safely say this is a decent controller. It feels nice, has textured handles and thumbsticks, although I prefer the true concave thumbsticks over the combination of being concave slightly with a dome center, but that is a personal preference and it can be easily fixed with the PS5 Control Freak. Plus, I can tell you one thing for sure, if you're like me and are a bit rough with the thumbsticks, especially in movement heavy games like Call of Duty, over time you can expect the neck of the thumbstick to develop a groove, like on my daily controller. Honestly wish companies would start implementing some type of metal ring neck to extend the longevity of the thumbsticks on all controllers, but once again, that is a personal preference and can expect that option on the higher end controllers. So just know you are getting a budget friendly controller, so do not be expecting premium features. However, I generally enjoyed using this controller. Only true complaint is the placement of the back buttons. I mean, over time I got used to them, but I feel like the best placement for back buttons are at the beginning of the curve of the handles. So when you grip on the controller, it's a lot more comfortable to press instead of straightening out your finger to press them. Overall, this controller is very simple to connect, program, and use. Everything can be done on the fly by pressing a combination of buttons. If you were to connect this controller to the PS5, just use the provided cable and plug it into your console as if it was a wire controller. And as soon as it's connected, just unplug the charging cable and you'll be good to go. In order to connect this controller to a Windows PC or a mobile device, you need to first press and hold the share button, then press and hold the home button at the same time until the controller turns on and flashes like this. Then just click on the DualSense controller option to finish pairing in your Bluetooth device settings. And obviously, you can use this controller as a wired controller on your PC. Now, I will say, both on my PC and mobile device, I didn't really experience any noticeable input delay. It was a very smooth gaming experience. To program the back buttons, just press and hold the back set button until the controller vibrates. Then press the button you want to assign to the back button, then press the back button you want to program. It's that simple, and you can repeat those steps and press up to 24 buttons to program a back button to perform a macro function. Honestly, I see this being useful for fighting games or for games where you want to AFK farm. And to essentially disable/reset the back buttons, just repeat the steps, and as soon as the controller vibrates, press the back button you want to disable/reset. To use the turbo function, just press and hold down the turbo button, then press the button or trigger you want to be auto-clicked. So now when you press that button or trigger, instead of button smashing or using your trigger finger, you can just press and hold down that said button or trigger. Honestly, gives you a very unfair advantage, but it is what it is. And to turn it off, just repeat the steps. Also, this controller does feature gyro motion controls. So if you have a game that has gyro motion controls, you can simply tilt the controller in any direction to move in game. The only feature I can't showcase in this video is unfortunately the built-in controller speaker, as that is exclusive to the PlayStation 5 console, but you do get a built-in speaker on the controller. And in terms of the audio quality from the 3.5mm jack plug-in, here is a sample of me using the microphone on my Astro A40 headset when plugged into the controller. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. As you can tell, there's no static. I think the quality is perfectly fine and can be used for in-game or in your party chats. And overall for the game sound quality, when you have the headset plugged into the controller, it's pretty good. There's no static and I can hear everything just fine. Then when it comes to customizing the LED lighting, you just need to press the light button and you have a variety of static colors to choose from, and you can pick between a rainbow setting or a color changing setting if you want to have multi-colors on your controller. Then if you ever run into an issue with the thumbsticks or triggers, just follow the instructions of having the controller off, then pressing and holding down the share and start button at the same time, which I also found out when the controller is on and connected to your PC via USB connection. Pressing and holding down those two buttons will switch the controller from being detected as a PlayStation controller to an Xbox controller, and this is a very nice feature as Xbox controllers are just plug and play on Windows PCs, so you won't experience any type of issue if this controller is in Xbox mode. But from my testing, leaving the controller in the PlayStation mode is perfectly fine. I didn't run into any issues. But back on topic, while holding down those two buttons with the controller off, connect the controller with the provided cable to your device, and the home button should start blinking rapidly when the controller turns on. Then just press your triggers 3 times and rotate your thumbsticks in a circle 3 times. Then press and hold down the X button until the home button stops flashing. And if you ever want to factory reset this controller for whatever reason, just stick a needle through this pinhole and just press and hold down that button for about 5 seconds to factory reset the controller. Now in conclusion, I am giving this controller a solid 4 out of 5. I would recommend this controller for anyone that needs an affordable controller with back buttons for the PlayStation 5, Windows PC, or mobile device. It will get the job done and does have some nice features that come along with it, especially if you want to use the macro function, the AFK farm, use the turbo function to have an auto clicker, and I mean, who doesn't like LED lighting? My only concerns is the longevity of the controller. Without Hall effect thumbsticks, I would recommend buying a warranty along with this controller on Amazon, just in case you experience terrible stick drift later down the line. I know you can recalibrate the thumbsticks, but who knows how long that can last, as stick drift is caused by physical internal parts showing wear and tear. And the other reason why this controller is not getting a perfect 5 out of 5 for me is the build quality. I mean, it's up to par when it comes to other budget-friendly controllers, but I just feel like you shouldn't be able to see the LED lighting through the seams near the thumbsticks, and it does scratch pretty easily, especially if you have a cat. So just be aware of that and just take care of the controller if you do get it. Besides that, this is a no-brainer must-buy if you are a gamer on a budget. But hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Just want to say I did receive this controller for the company to review, but my review is unbiased, as I am someone who has purchased several controllers over the past decade, ranging from budget-friendly controllers to so-called premium controllers. If I ever think a controller is not worth buying, I will say so, but for this controller, this isn't the case. So if you want to check out this controller for yourself, I will have it linked in the video description. Disclaimer, it will be an Amazon affiliate link, so any purchases made through that link will be supporting my channel, so thank you in advance. Besides that, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, with notifications on to never miss one of my videos, and have a good one.